It almost didn't sound like you when you answered the phone.
Me?
Yeah. It almost sounded like and please don't take this, like, the wrong way at all, but it kind of just sounded like an old lady. It's like, hello? Like, hi, is Kayla there?
Like you called it. It's like calling for me and you got my mom or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's not old, but you know what I mean.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty much.
Fuck, I just read this thing. So, do you follow anything on Instagram that's like little stories or like informational things?
Yeah.
I just read this one where it was like this guy went to this cave system called the fucking like nutty putty cave system in Utah, and he got stuck and like I'm like I'm coming down from a micro panic attack from learning about that.
Oh Jesus, that's fun.
Just like, well, because yeah, apparently the thing was like less than 3 feet wide, and he just got stuck upside down in the cave system. The emergency crews like fed him an IV through his leg, and he just eventually died from suffocation. And I'm like, oh my holy fuck. I know.
He was in a cave?
Yeah, it was like this tiny little cave system in fucking Utah. Yeah. And afterwards the landowner decided to like seal the cave off so nobody else.
Oh yeah. Right. Oh, well, that's great. Ooh.
Yeah.
Claustrophobia.
Oh god, it's
just a little
bit real.
Yeah. Well then.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just hanging
cool
out.
Beans.
Yep.
So I guess we should actually start this thing.
Sure. I'm ready.
Welcome to Rainbows and Horror Movies.
Welcome.
Where we talk about horror shit. And today I'm so excited. It's my jam.
So Kayla has a thing with creepy kids for some reason. Don't know why. I mean, they're creepy enough in the real world, and then if you put them in a horror movie, it's just kind of like tenfold. So,
right.
But I mean, creepy children are like a classic horror movie. Oh, what am I trying to say? Trope. Yeah, trope.
Yeah, I have an article kind of explaining why we love creepy children and like dolls and stuff. So I'm excited.
Shit, I hope we don't have the same article.
Oh god, what's yours?
Oh fuck. I accidentally closed it out and now I can't open it again with the fucking internet connection. That's cool.
Oh no!
Yay! What's yours?
It's why are there so many creepy kids, dolls, and clowns in horror movies?
So we literally have the same article.
Oh, we do? From Hopes and Fears?
Yeah! That's how coordinated we are, guys. Like, we didn't even plan this, but, it's okay. It's okay. Because, I mean, basically, like, the premise of it is, like, we're gonna talk about why children in horror movies are so creepy, and, like, why we're drawn to it, and then we're gonna talk about a couple of our favorites, so...
Yeah. Well, I have some backups, because one of mine is cheating, but whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, creepy kids.
But first,
Oh, we're gonna do... I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. Go for it.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I mean, technically my What's New in Entertainment has to do with, like, everything we've talked about today and, like, last week and whatever. But... Oh, did I open that? I already opened it. Oops. My B. Okay, so last week we talked about The Ring.
Yes.
And during our Patreon episode, for those of you who listen, we talked about our fascination with J-horror. And during, like, the early 2000s, we just, like, saw them year after year after year. And that's what this is all about. So I'm going to skip around a little bit. This is just an article talking about, like, Rings. Because I told you about the newest one, which is just called Rings.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen it. So basically, this is about, like, how J-pop came to America, how it did really well for the box office, blah, 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 blah.
Again,
boring.
America capitalizing on other cultures. It's fine.
Exactly. So Rings is set 13 years after the Ring 2. And it has Matilda Lutz and Alex Rowe as doomed young millennials who encounter Samara as part of a university experiment, watching digitized black and white footage of the wraith crawling out of that well on their laptops. With screens everywhere nowadays, Samara's developed a new ability to hack into in-flight airplane broadcasts with her home video and haunt thumb drives. Even in the digital age, her cursed VHS finds a way. So they're trying to basically prove the existence of a human soul within the tape. Okay. And that's why this is happening. So that's the general thing about Rings. So
it sounds pretty cool. I don't know if it's good, but
it looked really cool. The trailer looked really cool. The description looks really cool, but it was not good.
It wasn't really cool.
No, not at all. And it really sucked because I had what's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio, who he played the big bad in the first season of Daredevil. He's played a bunch of things.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but so this is telling us... Oh, yeah. So 26 years ago, stay-at-home dad author Koji Suzuki sat down to write his second novel, Ringu, about a reporter investigating the deaths of 4 teenagers found dead after watching a mysterious videotape. He actually earned the nickname the Stephen King of Japan.
Nice.
I know, right? So, yeah, this is basically our mania of J-pop. So... we did Ringu, they did Ringu, and then there was a sequel called Raisin, and that one fucking sucked. So
did you say Raisin?
Yeah, Rasen. Okay. Or it's probably Razin. I don't know.
I thought you meant like raisin, like a raisin.
And I'm like, it's an evil, it's a haunted raisin.
I mean, raisins are pretty fucking scary, honestly, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh yeah, here's the breakdown of what we were talking about in the Patreon episode. So, Meanwhile in Hollywood adapted Ringu into the Verbinski-helmed The Ring and sparked its own J-horror craze. The Grudge was the Japanese hit Ju-on, the Dark Water, and then they did The Pulse, or just Pulse, in 2006. So this is 2004, 2005, 2006 was Pulse, and then in 2008, they made One Missed Call, and that one had apparently the worst reviewed film of the year.
Nah.
And so America went, all right, we'll stop for a while.
Well, didn't they do isn't REC, the Wreck or whatever, wasn't that a Japanese movie, or am I mistaken?
No, that's I think, unless I'm mistaken, that's either Italian or Hispanic.
Oh, okay. But it was a foreign film, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that one's done so well, especially just as its own standalone. I haven't seen Wreck or any of the following sequels, but apparently the third or fourth one is the best, which is very unusual.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anywho, that was just kind of we were talking about that, and then also, creepy fucking Samara. So,
I mean,
strange kids.
No, the more I was thinking about this topic and stuff, the more I realized that creepy kids are literally almost in every horror movie.
Everywhere,
I mean, they're not all necessarily the bad guys or whatever, but if there are children in horror movies, then,
they're creepy.
Yeah, and I think The Ring definitely constructs as a creepy kid movie, I would say,
Oh, absolutely. That was actually on the list of 5 or 6 different lists I looked at. They were like, Samara, and I'm like, well, thank you. We just did that. Thank you.
Yeah, we just talked about The Ring, but I mean, like I said, it was a movie that stuck with me since childhood, and since rewatching it a week or two ago, it's still in my brain. So
is it really?
We'll never forget that movie. Yeah, I don't know why, man. I don't know why certain things just stay with you like that, but they do.
Exactly. Wait. So before you move on, I just want a couple news things,
sure.
Article kind of, not article, but just whatever. They announced that Castle Rock is going to be an anthology. I don't know if you read that.
No, I didn't.
So every season is going to be in a different Stephen King themed thing. Okay. I don't even know what they're doing. So, but This is going to be its own season. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Jordan Peele, the guy who made Get Out,
yeah,
he is making the Twilight Zone.
What? Twilight Zone what? A movie?
Like, the TV show.
What about the TV show? Like,
they're remaking it.
Oh, God. All right. Like,
I'm kind of excited because Jordan Peele's really good.
I mean, he is.
And, that's... I don't even know. When did that show...
He's not Rod Stewart. It's not in black and white. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 87 years old. What did you ask?
I was going to ask when was it made, but probably in the 80s.
No, it was made throughout, like, the 50s, and I think, like, the last season was, don't quote me, late 70s, early 80s.
Okay, so see, that could be similar to, like, a Doctor Who thing, where they just continue it where it left off.
Yeah. Like
old school Twilight Zone, taking a 20-year break, and then continuing with new producers. I don't think he's going to be the host. I think that, like, he's just going to be a producer.
Okay. Was his name Rod Stewart? Oh my god, I'm really bad with names.
Isn't that a singer?
And you have the internet. Oh god, I'm going to make a fool of myself. Can you please Google this really quick?
ASAP, I'm on it!
It's probably not his name. I feel so ashamed right now. Twilight Zone host.
Charles Aidman?
No. Like, the narrator.
Yeah, actor Charles Aidman serves as the show's narrator for the first 2 seasons. Oh, before being replaced by TV host Robin Ward.
Robin Ward. That's weird. I don't know. Names. Who are you? That guy. Everybody knows that guy. You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension of like, you know the opening of the Twilight Zones? Like, that's one of my... No, that's my grandpa.
It went so, like... It was 59 to 64.
59 to 64. Okay. I think they did like a little reboot like later on, but it didn't do very well. So
yeah, it looks like it. It looks like, well, here's the actual article about it. Oh, this was announced like a year ago. I'm so behind.
Oh, wow.
Anyways.
Wow. Well, we tried.
Yeah, right? Your entertainment. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. And I've been like holding this back for like, I don't know, a week and a half or like however long it's been since the trailer was released.
Yes.
But, so there have been several movie adaptations of this story in the last...
Very recent.
Pretty recent. And I think there was the one with Christina Ricci and stuff. But...
And then that show with her too.
Yeah, and a show as well. So there's a new movie coming out. It's going to air on September 14th in theaters. It's called Lizzie, and it is about the Lizzie Borden murders. I just hear you like making noises in the background.
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden movie. And so when this trailer came out, like the minute I saw it, I sent it to Kayla, and I'm just like, this looks so good, and it's gay. Like, I was not expecting it to be gay.
Oh no.
Whatsoever.
Okay, so I knew that portion of this because I listened to so many true crime podcasts, but most recently I was listening to And That's Why We Drink, and I think Christine did Lizzie Borden, and they literally went into the whole backstory about how she and the maid were supposedly in a relationship, but because it was so taboo, there was no indication of it anywhere. Like, no one recorded it, no one reported it, no one was like, hey, she's gay. Everyone was just like, hey, they're just a little bit too close. So
really good friends. Yeah, like, oh my god. Yeah. No, I totally believe that, like, 100%. So, let's see here. So, speaking of which, so Lizzie Borden was 32 at the time the murders happened. So, when you were 32... back in the 1800s and unmarried. You were a spinster. There was something wrong with you, or you were gay. But like, even if you were married to a guy. So a little bit of the background of this movie. So as an unmarried woman of 32, Lizzie is a social outcast trapped under her austere, domineering father's control. When Bridget Sullivan, a young maid desperate for work, comes to live with the family, Lizzie finds her as a kindred spirit and a chance intimacy that blossoms into a wicked plan and a dark, unsettling end. So basically, her dad was a fucking dick, and they, or Lizzie, I should say, ended up killing them for money, because money equaled power back in those days. I mean, it still kind of does, but it's a lot harder to get away with murder nowadays. Quincy, can you please step away from the microphone? I'm sorry, my cat.
He wants a spot on the podcast.
He really does, and now he's clawing me. Quincy, down. Wow, Bad Cat of the Day award. Goes to
my god.
Fucking Quincy. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know the background of the murder, I guess, so it took place in Today I'm having a words day where I can't speak. So it took place in Fall River, Massachusetts in 1892. And the movie, it's been said to be like just a film about like female rage, basically. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
It's my jam.
It's my jam. So, Chloe, sorry if I butcher your last name here, Sevignon. Thank you. Chloe Sevignon. I was like, I knew it. It's probably French or something, and I'm not going to pronounce it right. But anyways, so Chloe stars as Lizzie, and she also produced the movie, and it was kind of like her little baby. And actually, fun fact about this movie, so it actually took about 10 years to be made.
What?
Yeah. So Chloe was always like dreaming of making the story of Lizzie Borden. She actually went and visited her house, Lizzie Borden's bed and breakfast, around that time with her friend Craig, who ended up directing the film. Yeah. So they ended up visiting there. They had like some creepy ass experiences, and Chloe was like, okay, I need to make this movie. So she actually wanted it to be a mini series. First of all, like she wanted to go into like more depth.
There's so many
with everything.
There's so many of those though.
Yeah, there is. And so I was reading this article saying like Chloe wasn't like 100% satisfied with the outcome of the movie, just because, and I can see that. I mean, she's been dreaming it up for 10 years and she wanted it to be a mini series, but it wasn't. And actually like the first director that they had for the film fell through, so they had to go like back and like find a new director, and basically it's just been a long time coming. But but the trailer looks really, really good, and I'm super excited about it. So yeah.
It looks really good. I think I've watched it like 3 times now, just trying to,
I literally watched it like 20 times the day it came out. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I literally watched it so many times. So if you just look up Lizzie the movie, I'm sure it will come up. So.
Oh yeah.
And
it's already got so many reviews too.
Oh, it does.
Pre-reviews.
Because it actually premiered in January of 2018.
At Sundance.
The Sundance Film Festivals. So it's been out for a little while. But it's going to premiere in theaters next month. So that's going to be awesome. And personal note here. So Kristen Stewart is going to be one of the leads, and I am very gay for her, and I'm so excited. Like, I'm like, when is she going to accept an LGBTQ role? Like, I'm just waiting. Like, Bella from Twilight was totally not her role. I mean, those movies, I didn't even watch them, but I don't like them. I mean, I read the book. Comment. I read the book. I know, it's fine. Like, people can like what they like. But I read the book, but just seeing, like, Kristen, and I also really love Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just, like, really funny when those movies were popular, like, seeing them in interviews both saying that they both hated the movies.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And then there was, like, little Jacob in the background being like, that's okay.
I'm fine with it. This is cool.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Taylor Lautner.
Taylor, yeah. Taylor's
the
just
guy
in the
who,
background.
like, gets compared to an alpaca all the time.
I know. Poor guy. But, yes. Back to Lizzie. So Chloe wanted to kind of, like, go more in depth to, like, the complexities of the relationships that Lizzie had leading up to the murders. So like the relationships with her parents, and then obviously the relationship with her maid and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a really fun take on the story.
Oh,
Sure.
totally.
Yeah.
I actually, so sorry, back to being gay for Kristen Stewart. Totally.
It's fine.
Also same. So did you ever see the movie Personal Shopper that she did?
No, I haven't.
The gothic mystery drama thing that she did?
No, but I don't know why I haven't watched it.
I know. I'll totally get it. But then also, so one of my favorite roles that she's ever been in is American Ultra. Did you see that?
No, not that one either.
It was her.
Sorry, Kristen.
It was her and Jesse Eisenberg, and they played these two fucking stoners, and he turns out to be like a what do they call it? A sleeper agent for like the CIA.
Oh god.
And it's so funny. It is like
awesome.
It's probably one of those movies that I can fall asleep to just because it's so lighthearted and like there's explosions everywhere and I like falling asleep to chaos. So anyways.
Okay. Fun fact. But yeah, I don't know. People can talk shit about her all they want, but I honestly really like her. I don't know.
Yeah, as an actress. I haven't ever really thought less of her. Like everyone blacklisted her after that whole thing with that director, but
oh yeah, I mean it happens. It fucking happens. And like when your relationships are on blast like that, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know. Being famous might be hard, but she's and like the movie she was in about Joan Jett was really good as well.
Yeah, so. The Runaways. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes, Lizzie comes out September 14th, and you know my ass is going to be first in line. So, so excited for it. That's my noon entertainment.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So much good stuff. I love it.
I know. I'm excited, for sure.
I'm really excited. Oh, God, sorry. I had one last thing. I posted it on Facebook today, but I'm so fucking pissed at Disney. Because, like, I was just gonna say, hey, there's so much good stuff coming up. But apparently Disney is, like, completely shutting out their not family-friendly vibe. Once they take over 20th Century Fox, they're just getting rid of things. Like
what?
The Predator, like Aliens, like, they're just getting rid of it.
So they're not gonna be making more?
No.
What?
So they're going to have to shop those things around to other companies because they're literally, this is going to be the last Predator movie under 20th Century Fox.
Disney fucking sucks. Like, I'm sorry.
I know. Like, I'm so mad.
I enjoy, like, the older Disney films and whatever, but it's just a monster now. And I've had a couple friends that have worked for Disney, and they all were treated like slaves. So my opinion on it is a lot worse now. But wow, that's
yeah, it's really fucking bad. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, we were talking about Flynn and I were talking about all the fucking streaming services out there and how Netflix is gonna flop as soon as Disney opens theirs because they're not gonna be able to post any Disney movies. Anything, including things like Tron, including things like Marvel, including all the old school and new school Disney movies, they're all going to be stripped away. So one of the current streaming services, including Hulu, Netflix, or Amazon, is going to like merge with another one to stay afloat because Disney is going to be this like Amazon. It's going to be the Amazon of the streaming world, and it's going to be uncontrollable.
That's gross.
It's so gross. I'm so really mad.
I mean, I'm sure Netflix will like never flop just because there's so many good shit, so much good shit on it. But I didn't know that they owned Marvel. I don't really keep up with that because I don't like superhero movies, but that's a lot. They own a lot of things, I guess.
They're like sucking everything. They're like all the titles. They're just like taking it all.
Do that again.
No, I will.
Okay. Yeah, Disney is a fucking vampire though, for real.
Yeah.
So
back to horror. Disney's a vampire.
Well, that is horror. Like, excuse me.
It is. It really is. Oh, yeah. God. Oh, I need to move on, otherwise I'm going to be angry.
Right. All right, back to creepy children.
Yay.
Yay.
Shudder is a premium streaming service devoted exclusively to horror and thrillers.
They have thousands of hours of killer content, including Shudder originals.
They also have really awesome curated collections, so if you like demons or witches or ghosts, there's definitely a collection for you.
My favorite collections are A Woman's Touch and The Foundations of Horror.
Mine are A Comedy of Terrors and Haunted Habitations.
So go check out Shudder.com and use the code RAINBOW for your 30-day free trial.
That's Shudder.com. Use the promo code RAINBOW for your 30-day free trial.
Hey, Kayla.
Yes, Paige?
Did you know that Stephen King reads and listens to approximately 70 books per year?
Unlike me, who can barely get through one.
Well, for whatever reading level you're at, you can find the perfect book for you at Audible.
Head to audibletrial.com/RAHM to get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial.
And if you're looking for recommendations, I suggest The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, a classic.
And I recommend Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. Really creepy.
That's audibletrial.com/RAHM. Go get your free audiobook and free 30-day trial. Bitch. Sorry. Bitch. edit that.
Can I start?
Sure.
Yay! Okay, so did you actually end up rewatching the ones that I had?
I watched Mama.
Okay, yeah. So mine are Mama and the Orphan, and the reason why I said earlier that...
Oh, I've seen The Orphan. That was a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. Orphan's cheating a little bit because, spoiler alert, she's not really a child.
She ends up being like this, 40-year-old woman, and I don't know how old she is.
Yeah, she was like 20. I always thought that too, but I think she was like a 27-year-old Russian prostitute who kept murdering people around the world. So it was
yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
That's a lot younger than I thought, but she's a woman who looks like a 10-year-old, and she ends up killing husbands.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to get with the daddies.
The dad. Literally, that's what her goal in life is.
Not just daddies, but fathers.
Oh, God, it's so gross.
I know.
All right, so side note, we actually wanted to get into the psychology of children in horror movies and why they're so fucking creepy.
Exactly. And yes, I think the main reason is just because children are supposed to embody, innocence and newness and stuff. So when that's corrupted, that's pretty fucking scary. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The how long is your article?
The same one you have?
Oh, we did have the same article.
We did. Oh, God. The one time I didn't look at your notes. It's cool though. But there's a really good paragraph that I'd like to read.
Yeah, no, read it.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my cat is acting up again. He just wants attention.
He's being a shit.
He really is. So, nothing is more potent or for fright fans than when innocent is corrupted or lost, and the underdeveloped brain of a child becomes a primal force of evil, blurring the line between victim and monster. Whether these fears of unhinged tykes stem from real-world fears about parenting, gender, and social responsibility, or folkloric myths passed down to different cultures, the appearance of pint-sized fiends in horror films evokes the darkness of a juvenile psyche that remains mysterious. And basically, it's just so fucking creepy. When kids, turn on you, and, when kids are smarter than the adults, that's also terrifying, too.
Or when they're taken over by an entity that is smart and, fully capable of doing stuff. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's a really good quote here by Barbara Crampton. She was in Reanimator, From Beyond, and Tales of Halloween. So she said, "Who doesn't think kids are scary? I have them. I know them well, and I'm frightened every day. They are consistently unruly and unpredictable." So, yeah, like I said, they're scary enough in real life. So just throw in, the devil, and it's, really frightening.
Yeah, this is a really good, so this is on hopesandfears.com, and I'll post it on Facebook and Reddit after this episode airs, but, it has a lot of really good quotes by people in the business. Like there's Joe Dante, who's the director of Piranha, Gremlins. There's Dee Wallace, who has an actress from Hills Have Eyes, Cujo's, The Frighteners, so on and so forth. And like, it's kind of interesting how so many people have an opinion on this stuff. Like, I'll just read the first one from Joe Dante. He says, the creepy murderous child trope goes back to the bad seed from the most kid-centric decade, the 1950s. But lately, it's been having a resurgence with movies like Goodnight Mommy and The Boy. Holy fuck, I really want to see Goodnight Mommy.
Yeah, me too.
Just to mention a few of the latest entries. Could it be connected to the fact that more and more parents have difficulty balancing work responsibilities, child rearing, and elder care, not to speak of nurturing their own relationships, personal and career aspirations, and are squeezed financially by the cost of raising children and taking care of their own aging parents. Therefore, is it any wonder that children in genre movies are portrayed as powerful, disruptive, and uncontrollable? Perhaps these menacing Muppet movies reflect the fears inherent in helicopter parenting, that the minute you take your eyes off the child, something dreadful will happen. Or are they just aliens like Village of the Damned?
I mean, they could be, but yeah, that's so true. And like, for some reason, this just like brought up a memory that I almost forgot that I had. It has to do with kids. So when I was like 9 or 10, I had a neighbor friend who was my age, and she had a sister who was like 6 or 7, and her sister had like these episodes of just like unbridled rage. And one time, and her and her sister shared a room. So one time her sister Rosie just got like super, I don't know, set off or something. She grabs a kitchen knife and is like running around like trying to stab Jasmine, and like Jasmine shuts the door of the room and locks herself in there, and Rosie is just like stabbing the door with the knife. So it's literally like The Shining. So so like, wow, that's terrifying, because they're not supposed to be able to do those things.
I wonder if I don't want to talk about psychology. I was just wondering, because like rage is a big thing with autism. I mean,
I think she was on the spectrum. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I actually wanted to read this little fun fact that Joe Dante gave on this website, which you're also reading at the same time, but just pretend to be excited.
Okay. I hope it's not the same fun fact I was going to read. Oh my god.
Oh my god, is it the one about the Omen?
Yeah, because the Omen is one of my movies.
Okay, you can read that one then.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'll do it when I talk about the Omen, unless you just want to skip around. Sorry we're so unorganized this time, guys, but...
whatever.
Whatever.
Lazy days. Yeah, you just go ahead and read it right now. We already know.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, the Omen. So this is, the actor who played Damien in the 1976 film The Omen was picked for the role after a violent audition with director Richard Donner. The filmmaker asked several potential child stars to come at him and pretend they were attacking Catherine Thorne, which was Damien's mother in the film. Steven screamed and clawed Donner's face and kicked him in the groin, so the balls. Donner cast him immediately. Since Stevens was so young, Donner provoked reactions out of the child actor by antagonizing him. During the scene when Damien is angry about going to church, Donner provoked Stevens' expression by yelling, "What are you looking at, little bugger? I'll clobber you." So, yeah, wow. Like, basically just like, oh, who wants this role? Who can beat me up the most? That's who's gonna get it. So, yeah. The Omen is great.
Yeah.
The Omen is like, when we were talking about creepy children, that one was the first one that came to my mind.
Immediate. Okay, yeah. I have a question. I might have made a mistake. Did you mean the remake or the original?
Well, the one I was talking about just now was the original. They're both pretty much the same story. So
yeah. I mean, I've seen both of them. I just didn't know which one you wanted to watch or talk about on this episode. So might be.
Right. I mean, yeah, I was just going to talk about it as a general premise, just because they're the same story, but...
Yeah, pretty much. I actually, so one last thing on the psychology behind all this is that I'm reading a lot about how when you're talking about creepy children, you normally think about little girls like creepy little girls. Like, obviously there are things like The Grudge, or not, yeah, I guess The Grudge, because that's a little boy.
There's like tons of creepy boy movies, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like totally blanked. The fucking Omen is a little freaking creepy boy. Yeah. But like the reason why a lot of people think that little girls in as a creepy role, it's because, or a lot of people think it's more creepy, is because like boys will be boys.
Blah.
Is like kind of an acceptable answer for them getting into trouble, right? But
I guess.
But then like when you see things like, this is part of a quote that I'm reading, but it's like girls will be girls doesn't quite have the same connotation. And so like when you say that little boy can take care of himself, like it's so sexist, it's not even funny.
No, it's
not. But basically, so there's this one that I actually follow, or actually technically we follow this writer on Instagram, but he said when we're watching a horror film, we root for the people on screen who need protection and represent the non-threatening vulnerability. The teen in the wheelchair being stalked by the hulking masked slasher villain, or the old blind lady being hunted by her recently turned zombie husband. And the evil force to be reckoned with is the ultimate cultural representation of a non-threatening vulnerability, a little girl. It throws off our mental and emotional stability. Yeah. This little girl doesn't need our protection. She needs to be mutilated. A film that can cause that level of psychological imbalance is powerful, and I think that's why the trope continues. Because we're like sitting here going, save the little girl, but she's also murdered 5 people. So...
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Whereas, like, I don't know why... I don't know. It's fucking sexist. I don't want to get on that trope.
Well, yeah. I mean, please do, but...
little boys. People think little boys can take care of themselves. And, like, little boys are more mature for some fucking reason.
That's not true, but...
I know. But, so they think, hey, this little boy is just going to get dirty in the mud and... almost gets hit by that car. Oh, it's fine, but the little girl can't deal with it for some reason, or like those kinds of thoughts. But I mean, obviously that isn't the case in real life, but in horror movies it's very much that's what they push towards, is that the female small child is more vulnerable, and when they become more scary and demonic and start hurting people, they're like, they make you stop and think, I guess. I don't know. That's just true. My own. That's my own breakdown.
I guess one of the first, like, creepy girls I saw, or I remember seeing in film, were the twins from The Shining. And I know that they weren't, like, bad characters or whatever, but for some reason, like, they just really creeped me out.
Yeah.
And especially when you get twins involved. But that's that's a whole nother thing.
That's so much worse.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just that unsuspecting villain kind of thing. That's why children do so well in horror movies.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
Okay. Movies. Movie time. All right, so I'm just going to continue talking about The Orphan because we were already talking about that. Yes. So the general synopsis on Google for The Orphan, or it's technically not The Orphan, it's just Orphan. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Devastated by the loss of their unborn baby, Kate and John decide to adopt a child. At the orphanage, both feel drawn to a little girl named Esther, and soon the couple take their new daughter home. But when a dangerous series of events unfolds, Kate begins to suspect that there is something evil lurking behind the child's angelic exterior.
Well, their first goddamn tip-off should have been her name, because nobody names a baby Esther.
Exactly! What?
No, she's a 35-year-old Russian prostitute. But didn't they adopt her after one of their children died, or she had a stillborn or something?
Yeah, that's the first sentence. It says devastated by the loss of their unborn child.
Well, yes, but I'm just like, how did they die? It's been a couple years since I've seen this, but I remember it pretty well.
I think it was stillborn. I think she got into a car accident.
Oh, okay.
Even worse, she got into a car accident, and then the baby died. It was still inside. Oh my god. So this movie is actually really hard for me to watch.
Oh.
It's easy for me to talk about because it's like, as the movie progresses, you're like, okay, this is fucked up. But like the beginning, that whole thing, you know me and my history. So, but oh my god, the fact,
the flower.
The flower and the fucking little girl, the little deaf girl, and like, oh my god. So the thing that the one big negative that I really hate about this movie is that they completely 100% rely on she's a grieving mother, she must be crazy.
That's true. Yeah.
That is like the whole movie, like, she's gone crazy. She used to be an alcoholic because of the loss of her baby. So she starts becoming almost abusive of Esther, and it's all because she's grieving. She must have gone back to alcohol, and then all this shit. And so it becomes a whole, like, convincing people that she's not crazy, and I fucking hate that.
That's true. I feel like that was something that the movie did pretty interestingly, because the characters in the movie all were like, oh, she's crazy, blah, blah, blah. But the audience, could kind of see past that a little bit. Yeah,
we knew, but that's my biggest thing, right? Is that, like, I've talked about it before, about how I hate scenarios in both my personal life and in films where one person is trying to convince people that it's either too dangerous and no one's believing them, or it's completely safe but everyone's overreacting. Like, I maybe it's just my type A personality, but like, I'm like, fucking come on, people, deal with your shit and move on. Like,
deal with your shit and move on, right? Yeah, but it is so frustrating when, like, nobody will believe that person, and then obviously they end up being right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like, oh my god. So I really enjoyed this cast.
Yeah, it was good. Mm-hmm.
This was pre-Conjuring for Vera Farmiga. And oh my god, the fucking that little girl. I mean, technically not little girl. That person.
Yeah.
She played that so well.
So well. Yeah.
Oh my god. And the way, so obviously we're not going to spoil the movie, but I mean, we kind of did. We did. We fucking spoiled the movie. We just did.
Well, oh well.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry, everyone. It's been out for a while.
It has. So. It was made in 2009, so it's almost 10 years old, so that's my cap.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
So when I first saw this trailer, I guess, I honestly thought it was going to be supernatural.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, like, obviously the reveal was something that was very unique, right? Because and from the trailers, it seems like she was just fucking possessed and crazy, and she was a little demon child. But no, she was literally not a kid.
Literally not. Yeah, it definitely had, like, a big twist at the end, which I really liked. Because the whole time leading up to it, you're like, okay, like, what's going on? And then when you finally realize the truth, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, so it's actually, it's hard to watch it's hard to watch again, knowing the twist. Right. So, like, unfortunately, I'm a person who doesn't mind spoilers. Like, when I was in 7th grade, someone told me that Bruce Willis was dead before I even seen The Sixth Sense. And so ever since then, I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna see the movie based on the fact that it's a good movie, and obviously the twist won't be as shocking, but the emotion will still be there because I haven't seen it. So it's just one of those things. But then, like, having seen it, now I'm like, okay, I know it's coming. It's hard. So for me, like I've said before, for a lot of movies, it's definitely a one and done. I don't know if I'll ever opt to watch it on my own again.
The Orphan?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel it. It is really good, but it's one of those movies where the plot twist is just so extreme that you're like, oh.
Yeah.
If you watch it again.
But it's still a really great movie.
It is.
Like I said, Vera Farmiga is really good in this, and she plays a grieving mother very well. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking heartbreaking at times.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I saw this movie in theaters, I guess, when it came out in 2009. But I still remember, the emotions that it conveyed, and just like how freaking awful it was, like when she did the thing with the flower. I'll just say that.
My God, yeah. We won't spoil all of it because there are some things that, like, holy shit.
Yes, it's a very, like, holy shit movie.
Yeah,
but
like I would have strangled her, and I'm just saying, like, I would have been like, nope, enough of this bullshit.
Enough of this bullshit. Right? I would too. It'd be worth it. So.
Oh my goodness. All right, you want to do one of yours?
Sure, I'll do one of mine. Which one should I do first?
Well, we've already talked about the Omen a bunch, so let's start with that one.
Okay, let's start with the Omen. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a synopsis. That's the word, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, oops. I'm sorry, technical difficulties. Here we go. So the original one, and there was okay, so I'll just preface it with this. So this movie came out in 1976. However, in 2006, a remake came out, and I remember that clear as day because the release date was June 6th, 2006, of course. And,
I remember that.
Yeah, and I had my mom take me on June 6th, and that's a day before my birthday. So I remember that year, people were like, "Oh, you're pretty much the devil because your birthday's on the day after." And I was like,
what?
"Okay, like that's a stretch." Like that, like I was in middle school when this happened. I was like, "That's a stretch, you guys," but okay, like. and I'm like, and I remember that year, if any of you do, 2006 in June, some people were going like, "Oh, that's the day that Lucifer is gonna come back," and I was like, okay, number one, the devil would be a little bit more subtle than
it was
that.
Like Y2K.
Right? No, right? It's like, I think it's a little bit more subtle, and plus it's like 2006 technically, so it's not even like 666, but it was like a cool thing back then. But anyway, so The Omen is a supernatural horror film, and there's a couple sequels that follow as well. So The Omen concerns a young child replaced at birth by American ambassador Robert Thorne, unbeknownst to his wife, after their own son was murdered at the hospital, enabling the son of Satan to grow up with wealth and power. They are surrounded by mysterious and ominous deaths, unaware that the child Damien is the Antichrist.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like, for one, don't swap out a baby at the hospital when you don't know what you're doing, and two, like, why did you name him Damien? But anyways.
Well, because before this movie it wasn't a bad name, and now everyone's like, "Oh, you named your kid Damien, he must be the devil."
Oh, that's true. I guess it doesn't like mean anything evil necessarily, but yeah, now people associate the name Damien with The Omen. So yeah, that's the premise of it, and it was one of the highest grossing films in 1976.
Oh, wow.
And it grossed over $60 million at the box office its first weekend, and it also won Best Original Score for the music. So
when was The Exorcist? 1973. Okay. Never mind.
73. Okay, so a couple years before that, but yeah, so The Exorcist, The Omen, like just super quintessential like 70s horror films there. So basically bad shit just happens. Like when Damien is around, people end up just like killing themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, that.
The scene with the nanny or whatever.
The nanny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I remembering it wrong? Does she? So sorry, in the new one, she jumps off the building.
Yes.
Does she do the same thing in the original?
That's a really good question. I don't think so. It's been a while since I've seen that one, but in the new one, like, of course, the deaths were a little bit more dramatic. But yeah, like the maid jumps off the roof. That was really like, oh, okay, that's where this movie is going right now. So I have some fun facts about the role. So other than the little boy having to beat up the casting director
oh my god
to get the role, let's see here. So yeah, they talk a lot about that. That was like a huge thing in the casting of that movie, was like how much he can beat up the director. And fun fact, the little boy's hair was actually blonde, but they had to dye it black to make him look goth.
Oh my god.
So let's see. And so this is talking about the original film here. So there were a lot of like really weird events that happened around the shooting of this movie.
I love those things.
Me too. And I feel like a lot of the time when you do a horror film, you're kind of inviting that kind of energy in. So, I mean, it makes sense. So on the first day of the shoot, several crew members were in a car that was involved in a head-on collision.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And two people that were, I think they were actors, like an actor and a producer. So they both flew to England on airplanes that were both struck by lightning during their flights, just 8 hours apart. What are the odds of that? Like, different airplanes. Producer Mace Newfield flew to England a week later, and lightning struck his plane too.
Oh my god.
In another instance, the production canceled a charter flight on a plane, which then took on new passengers and crashed, killing all on board. So basically,
shit.
Yeah, they almost all died. Eeriest of all was the accident that happened 2 months after The Omen opened on Friday the 13th, August 1976. John Richardson, the special effects designer behind such gruesome Omen deaths as the decapitation of Keith Jennings, that was a good death, by a stray pane of glass, was in Holland working on the film A Bridge Too Far when his BMW crashed. His assistant, who was in the passenger seat, was cut in half.
Oh.
Yeah, supposedly Richardson crawled out of the car and saw a road sign that he said was 66.6 kilometers away from the town Omen.
What?
Spelled O-M-M-E-N. Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's almost like that whole like life imitates art kind of thing that happened with The Omen. So I really liked the movie, obviously, but like the backstory behind it was almost more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Just because like all of these terrible things happened, around the filming. So
I mean, as soon as we talk about the fucking poltergeist, you bet your ass I'll do the same thing. I love that story.
Yeah, that story's good. Also, The Omen the original one, came out on June 6th, 1976. And apparently a lot of people freaked out about that because, I don't know.
That's not even close. I know! At least ours had a 06.
I know. I mean, 2006 makes a little bit more sense, right?
There's a whole 3 numbers before the other one.
I know, right? I know. And then the final, like, fun fact I have about it. So, The Omen cost $2.8 million to make and another $2.8 million to market. It made back $61 million, which isn't bad.
No.
Donner has said the film had made so much money for Fox that it enabled the studio to give George Lucas the money he needed to finish Star Wars the way he wanted.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I didn't even expect that. Like, The Omen and Star Wars are somehow linked together, so you can think... Right?
Wow.
So you can thank Damien. Really yeah, so you can thank Damien for Star Wars.
Wow.
So, yeah. And, like I said, it's just a quintessential creepy kid movie. Both versions are really good.
Definitely. But that's, again, we're gonna do all of those, like, We need to start doing those because I have so many movies lined up now. The original versus remakes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just do like decades.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have them already. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm not worried.
It's handled.
Gotcha. But yeah, that's the Omen for me.
The Omen.
The Omen, and then they basically just like spend the whole movie like figuring out all of these ancient secrets, and then just like ultimately trying to kill this little kid.
And also in both movies, the creepiest fucking nanny in existence.
Oh god.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Nannies are scary too. Let's just be real. So. Yeah.
Yeah. They're either going to kill your kid, kill your dog, kill your...
Yeah.
You.
Or seduce your husband.
Yeah. I'm never getting a nanny. I'm always going to be poor enough to never be able to afford a nanny.
Well, that too. But for good reason. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Fucking The Omen. Such a good movie. Both of them are really good.
Both of them. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of rare to have, like, an original and a remake that are both really good, so.
Yeah. It's very, as you'll come to learn in this podcast, there are not a lot of remakes, or sequels for that matter, that really, like, what is the word? Compare to the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the Omen did, so would recommend.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My next one?
Yeah.
Mama.
Whoa.
Whoa,
I'm sorry. Hey, I should be in the movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mama. So this is... Oh my goodness. So this is actually one of those rare occurrences in kind of this discussion where we're not talking about children that are creepy, more so they're them being in the movie is creepy, if that makes sense. So, this is the synopsis. On the day that their parents die, sisters Lily and Victoria vanish into the woods, prompting a frantic search by their uncle Lucas with his girlfriend Annabelle. 5 years later, miraculously, the girls are found alive in a decaying cabin, and Lucas and Annabelle welcome them into their home. But as Annabelle tries to reintroduce the children to a normal life, she finds that someone or something still wants to tuck them in at night.
Yeah, so basically, like, there are these little, like, two wolf girls that grew up in the forest.
Oh, it's so creepy when they find them in the fucking cabin, and then they're like moving around in the shadows, basically on their fingers, and just like blah, blah, blah.
Little like spider children.
God, it's fucking creepy. So I was under the impression that this was like just a straight Guillermo del Toro movie. It's not. No. It's actually, he produced it. He was an executive producer, so he had like a lot to do with it. But it was actually made, directed and written by Andy Muschietti. I think that's how you say it. Muschietti. He's Spanish or Italian. One of the two. They're basically the same thing.
Oh, jeez.
Never mind.
I mean, they're okay. Of Hispanic descent.
Yes, exactly. So he did a short story, and I'm not sure. Oh, it totally is. So he did based on the short film. Well, the Mama was based on the short film. So Mama was made in 2013, and the short film was made in 2008, both by the same guy, which was kind of cool because usually the original person doesn't have a lot to do with the feature film. Yeah. Which is always awesome. But he also did It, which we all love.
The original one or the
new one?
Okay.
And he's also doing the second one.
Okay. Directing it?
Yeah, directing. Oh, okay. He only wrote... No, he didn't write anything. He just wrote Mama. But yeah.
Mama.
Okay, what am I actually trying to say about this movie? So
it was based on the short film, which you all should watch, by the way.
I haven't seen it. I've talked a lot about how I have not seen nearly enough foreign films, even short foreign films. I think in my docket. No, that's not right. In my history of horror, I think I maybe have 3 foreign horror movies.
Okay.
So I'm way behind. I still haven't seen The Orphanage, which I really want to see. Wow.
Yeah. Super good. Well, the short film was... I just found it on YouTube literally like yesterday, I think.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
So, yeah, it has a little foreword by Del Toro, and that's when I found out that, like, he didn't write it. He was like, yeah, it was based on this short film, and it's only, like, 3 minutes long. But it has, like, the weird, like, hair, like, the floating hair thing. Yeah. So you can totally tell that it's the same premise, but it's really short.
Yeah, it says 3 minutes on IMDb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like the Google thing said, so these girls go missing, and oh my god, I love that their father and their uncle were twins. So, like, that reintroduction of them to him was like, whoa.
Oh, that's true. That was a really interesting thing, yeah. They're like, you look like our dad, but you're not.
Yeah, and I loved his little goth, like, fucking rocker girlfriend is so
good. Dude, she's hot as hell. Yeah. I'm just like, okay. And like, she was like the unwilling stepmom. Well, not unwilling, but like, once the girls were like, oh, they're actually like feral, she was like, oh my god.
Yeah, she was the one who grew as a person the most throughout the movie. Yeah. She was one of those, like, we basically follow her as the main character. As she's dealing with these fucking creepy ass events and children and oh god.
I know.
So I don't even know how to. So we can actually talk about this one quite a bit without it spoiling too much because there's not much to spoil. They basically gave it all away in the synopsis. But so the only one of the kids that I feel like was super creepy was the younger one, Lily.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She was the one who was like really young when her father abandoned them. And then the older one, she was like talking. They get really into the psychology of why these girls are adjusting the way they are, and it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Fucking wolf kids. But instead raised by like this demon.
Right? And that whole thing, that was probably one of the more unique. I'm really happy that we see that creature like right away.
Yeah, me too.
It's not like this huge buildup of the movie.
It's like you know something is fucked up.
Oh yeah, because you automatically, I think within the first 10 minutes you see like the outline, or you see like the piece of the weird waterlogged hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Right? Oh my god. Side note, so do you know what Bandit is?
Mm-mm.
So Bandit is like this sort of to-go box wine. And it's a...
Oh, I thought you were talking about a movie.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I segued. Bandit, the drink.
No.
So it's like this little, like, boxed wine. It's it kind of looks like a juice box, but it has the equivalence of 1.5 bottles of wine in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So when I was younger, that's what I drank all the time. So when I saw this movie in theaters, I just got smashed. And, like the movie just got more and more, like, interesting, like, the more I drank, and then I ended up puking out of my friend's car.
Oh, nice.
But that's, like, the memory that I attached to Mama. It's a great movie, but I just had to tell you that.
That's a great little anecdote.
Just me, what year was this? 2009, so I was
2013.
Like... Oh, I'm sorry. So I was like
20. No, I was 23.
Yeah. I wasn't old enough to drink, I don't think, which is why it was so, like, I'm sneaking in wine to the theater.
Like me, who stopped drinking when I was 21.
I went hard for a while and then it tapered out. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. But
and now I can't have it.
Yeah, but alcohol's not good for you kids. It's okay.
Nope.
Yeah. It's overrated. But
it really is, unless
it's wine.
No, I don't like wine. I never liked wine. Well, that's probably because my stepdad was a wino. Like,
a wino?
Real wino.
Yeah. That'll do it.
All right, personal tangent.
But there was no wine in Mama.
No, none whatsoever.
No.
I really like the movie. It's one of those that like I'll probably watch at least once a year, just because I don't know. I really like the director. I love it's so beautiful. The movie, it like has such a soft, I love the color palette, how like when Mama's around, it's really blue, and when she's not around, it's really like brown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it when they put more into horror besides just boo and ew. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was very visually nice.
I don't know. Sorry, I haven't talked about the creepy children very much. So the fact that they're in this period is creepy. So what happens is they go to this big ass house, who is, I think that was his brother's house, and they move back in, and weird shit happens, like, obviously because it's a ghost, the electronics keep fucking up and everything, but the creepiest shit is Lily, the little fucking girl, how, like, she, when like, what's her name, Annabelle goes away, suddenly Lily will just be, like, giggling and staring at the fucking ceiling, and
what is up with that?
Or like every time what's her fucking name? The older kid.
I'm really bad with names.
Victoria.
Yeah.
She, every time she goes into the room, because she knows Mama's in there, she like takes off her glasses because otherwise Mama will get mad.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Right? Like, oh. Like that's no.
Yeah, it's all creepy. The whole movie is done very well. Everything about the fucking movie is creepy. I really love the way that they grew the character of Annabelle, who's Jessica Chastain. I actually really fucking hated the guy in the movie. He was pretty pointless.
Yeah, he was, honestly. Honestly, like, what did he do?
Like, during that whole final battle, he gets knocked out.
He's like,
and does nothing.
Okay. Fucking useless. But it was a good one. It definitely was. And like, based on a short film makes it even cooler, I think. So
yeah, I'm loving short films so much.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to watch a movie about feral children and a demonic entity, see
fucking
Mama.
Creepy, waterlogged, stretchy woman thing.
Stretchy woman thing. That's all you need to know, really.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, Mama.
All right. Your number 2?
All right. My number 2. So, of course I couldn't fucking do creepy children without bringing Stephen King in here.
The OG.
Like, the OG. So the premise of this movie is basically like it follows a couple who is driving through Nebraska. I always mix up the
same thing.
The Midwest. Sorry, Midwesterners.
You know what it looks like. It's all the same thing.
It is. So, I mean, cornfields, whatever. So it follows this couple who's driving through Nebraska, and their car breaks down, and they end up stopping at this gas station, and that's basically where shit starts to happen.
This is Children of the Corn, by the way.
Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry, yeah. I just mentioned Stephen King and thought, like, people should know what the hell I'm talking about.
Get good!
So yeah, basically, this Children of the Corn, so it ends up being this town where all of the children killed their parents, casually. Mm-hmm. And the children end up, making, like, this hyper-religious kind of like commune together, totally twisting like the words of the Bible, which I think is also fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's led by these two boys named Isaac and Malachi, and basically like as soon as you turn 18, then you have to die.
It was
right?
It was their 19th birthday.
Oh, excuse me, 19.
Yeah.
Because I mean, being 18 is like borderline.
Yeah, you're still a fucking kid when you're 18. Let's be fair.
You are. Like, yeah, exactly. So, 19th birthday, you get killed in kind of like a sacrificial way for the he who walks behind the rose. So the rose of corn, they mean. So he who walks behind the rose is like this huge theme that follows throughout the movie. So this couple ends up meeting this really nice pair of siblings, a boy and a girl, and it's basically the four of them throughout the movie trying to like figure shit out and not die.
Yeah, it's like these two little kids are the only ones like going, this isn't right, you guys.
Yeah, like they're the only ones being like, I didn't want my mom to die.
I want to play Monopoly.
Yeah, I want to draw. I want to play Monopoly. Like this is not cool. So, but just the whole like essence of like this kind of like rural Midwestern town. And it's just, like, creepy to me, personally.
Oh, yeah. Being in the middle of nowhere is always fucking terrifying. Especially back when they didn't have cell phones or cell phone reception.
Yeah, they didn't have cell phones. I don't think they had phone lines there either, if I remember correctly. Like, they cut all the phone lines.
Yeah, so everything was off.
Like... There was no outside communication whatsoever, and their car was broken down and shit. So, I mean, that was only asking for disaster. But, I was introduced to this movie, I think I said it in the Stephen King episode, like 8th grade, I want to say. So I was still in that, like, age range of what would be considered to be appropriate for, like, children. So.
Yeah. Okay, so I watched this like 2 days ago, so I'm remembering it because I'm gonna shame myself again, and this was the first time I had ever seen this movie. I had never seen it before. So their car isn't broken down. The one of my notes for Children of the Corn is actually they just get right to the killing because in the first like 2 seconds you see all these fucking children murder this other kid. And then he goes out into the road, and that's when they're trying to look for the city.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But it was something with the car.
Yeah.
Of course. Like, the car has to be, like, on the fritz for...
Yeah. I fucking... You know what I would have done if all of that had happened? I would have just been like, you know what? Fuck it. If you guys don't care about children being dead in the middle of the road, I'm just gonna keep driving.
Dude, I would probably keep driving. Sorry. Yeah, it's just like, oh, he's not breathing. Okay, bye.
It's not my business. Bye.
It's not my business. Exactly. But just like that scene, it's one of the first scenes where they're in that diner when the adults are still alive. And then they just start like stabbing everyone. That one was so iconic to me.
Oh, absolutely. Like, with, what's his name? Isaac staring. No. Yeah? The kid with the hat.
That's Malachi, I want to say. Whoa.
Malachi is the old one. Malachi is the old one. So ginger. Isaac, Malachi is the dick. But but yeah, when Isaac comes to the window and kind of gives that like nod to Malachi to start massacring everybody,
oh, God.
Is so iconic.
Yes. Yeah, and I think it was made in the 80s as well. Do you know for sure?
84, I want to say.
Perfect. So it has like that ambiance of like kind of, I don't know, it seemed like it kind of had a dreamy quality to me.
Oh, 100%.
Almost. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I actually I wrote a few things about that too because I was like, you know how I said in the was it the last episode? I don't remember when I said this. So I was talking about Carrie, and I was talking about how I love the way that movies from the 70s looked. If like Instagram had a filter, it would be called nostalgia. Right.
Yeah, it was kind of like this movie too.
Very similar, less dreamy than the 70s one. But I said, okay, so I really love the way that this film looks because, all right, so I've kind of rewired my brain to, instead of saying, oh, that looks like garbage, to really like breaking it down, right? So I said that they just sort of went along with the mistakes. They worked with what they had. Like the typography at the beginning, like the name of the movie coming up, the title screen with the font, you could literally see specks of dust from where they like had to put it down on a clear surface and take an image of it back in the 80s.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you can see all the specks of dust come in, and then like in the very beginning when she lights the birthday candle, there's like I don't know the word for it, but the reflection where like there's like 3 flames. There's like almost like a shadow of a flame, but like it didn't take away from the scene. It didn't make it any less fun and sweet. It was just there, and you notice it, and it moves on. It's just, I love that shit, and that's what I'm starting to realize more and more with older movies, is that like they have a lot of mistakes. They didn't have the things that we have now. No. I'll just say that.
No. And I don't think Children of the Corn was like, obviously it wasn't a big, expensive movie. Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't a blockbuster. No, and there's like a bunch of sequels now on Sci-Fi Channel and stuff. Like,
did you not get that message?
I guess not.
There are 10.
Oh my god.
In total, there are 10 movies.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember, like, when I had cable back in the day, like, whenever I was on the Sci-Fi Channel, it would always be, like, some Children of the Corn sequel. And, by the way, Stephen King had nothing to do with the sequels. Oh, no. But I was just like, damn, 10 movies? Are you fucking kidding me? So, but the original story was just so cool, and just the fact that, like, there was a town of children and no adults really appealed to me, I guess.
Well, yeah, because children can't be reasoned with like adults can.
No, and they don't know shit. I mean, they don't know, because like there were some older kids, but at the same time, like they were so isolated from society as well. They're definitely just like all in their own heads, kind of like Lord of the Flies, if you're familiar with that one. Totally. Yeah, so very like Lord of the Flies feel to me.
Like all on your own. And it was just like, how many years? Okay, so the massacre happened, and then it was like a certain amount of years later. How many? Was it 4 or 3?
Like 3 or 4.
Okay, so like those kids that end up helping them, they're really young when that happened.
They were really young, and that kind of makes me think, like, how did they, like, did somebody change their diapers? I don't know. Like, these are the things that I think about.
Maybe. I mean, there were older kids. I mean, you saw the list of people who had died because of their 19th birthday.
True. Oh my god. That's so creepy. Like,
yeah. Oh my god. The whole movie. It was definitely, okay, so it was definitely one of those, like, I'm glad I watched it. Because it's a classic, but it's really not a good movie. It's definitely a creepy movie, and it's a classic, and it's a staple to any creepy child lover, whatever, like me.
Yeah.
But it's not one of the best ones.
It's not, but I just absolutely love Isaac and Malachi as actors, and I think that's what sold it. I think that's what sold it for me, just because they were so weird.
And then Linda Hamilton, of course.
Yeah, but, Isaac and Malachi, they're my homies. But yeah, fucking, so, speaking of Malachi, so I remember, so I used to be, like a full-time cosmetologist, for those who don't know, so I had this client who was a little boy, who also was a ginger, and his name was Malachi.
Oh no!
I know! And whenever, like, I didn't want to mention it to the parents, but the only reason I remembered his name was because of Children of the Corn. I didn't want to be like, hey, like, did you know that, like, this name was used? I think it might be a biblical name, too. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think they were all biblical.
Isaac. That makes sense. That makes total sense. But yeah, I was just like, oh, it's the Children of the Corn boy. So, yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Did you know this? That Children of the Corn was a short story first published in March of 1977 in an issue of Penthouse.
Really?
Yeah, he first published it in Penthouse.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, like I was saying on the Stephen King episode, like, writers literally, because, like, all of the magazines back in the day, Penthouse, Playboy, like, they all had stories that had nothing to do with naked women or whatever.
Yeah.
But authors would submit those stories to, like, all of those magazines. But, yeah, I didn't know that, though. That's funny.
That's really crazy. Oh my god, I'm still reeling over the fact that, like, there are 10 films.
That's insane. Like, that's never necessary. Like, with Friday the 13th, there's something like that too, or like 13 films, and after like the fourth one, it's just like, okay. Like, you can stop.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I wonder, I mean, I'm just kind of like curious to see how the story progresses throughout those 10 movies, but I'm not watching them. So I might just read about it. Because like Isaac and Malachi aren't in it, so I don't know.
Well, okay, so technically that's not correct. So apparently there was a remake in 2009.
I heard about that. I never saw it.
I didn't either. But but it was a remake. It was a made for TV remake. So it wasn't like, yeah, it was made on Sci-Fi.
Okay. Yeah. Sci-Fi loves Children of the Corn.
Yes, they do.
Like, they're in love with them, so.
Sci-Fi also likes Sharknado, and they need to stop it right now.
Like, do we ever need Sharknado? No.
I watched the first one for the first time the other day, and I was like, oh, there are 6 of these.
Oh, wow. That's unnecessary.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Sharknado fans.
Oh, I'm not. It's a horrible franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dumbest franchise ever, no offense.
It was one of those things that caught so much steam because of its cult popularity.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. Well, I actually, okay, so before we, like, wrap up, I actually had a couple of runner-ups because the movies themselves didn't have to do with really creepy children, but we talked about one already, the Shining Twins.
And Danny. Danny's creepy, too.
Danny's creepy as fuck.
Let's be honest. Like...
Did I tell you that I tried to get red rum tattooed on my finger?
No.
I have an R and an E, and the rest of it faded away.
Why didn't you finish it?
I did, but unfortunately, I actually did it myself.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't go in deep enough. So, like, a week after I got it done, I was, what was I doing? I was cleaning my kitchen with that, like, powder bleach stuff.
Yeah.
And it literally just, like, disintegrated it. Because it...
Oh, so you just have
I have a backwards R and a half faded E. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. I would totally get a red rum tattoo, or just a Shining tattoo in general.
Yeah, I really want to get it redone because, like, it looks so bad right now. It looks like I, like, half doodled on myself 3 days ago.
Right.
And then my other runner-up, also not really child-centric, is Gage Creed from Pet Sematary, my god, we talked about this the last time, but oh my god, he was the creepiest little cute, adorable child creepy killer. Oh.
Gage is like the creepiest. Oh yeah, I just learned the other day. So I have a friend, Shannon. Hi, Shannon, and she commented on our Stephen King episode, and she was like, she's like, I love Stephen King too. My boyfriend Gage is named after the little kid.
Oh no!
I know. I'm like, oh, that's a hell of a thing to be named after. But I thought that was cool.
That is really cool. I always love those names. Like mine. Ugh, I don't like mine.
Nobody likes their name.
Well, my mom was 19 when she had me. So my name is based off of a soap opera. I just don't know which one.
Right. Some Kayla.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
So creepy children. Yeah. I love creepy children. There was so many I wanted to do, but I was like, let's limit it to 2.
Right. There are so many, and like I said, pretty much any kid in a horror movie has like the creep factor.
There's like a list of obviously there are lists, but yeah, the first 3, it's like the Shining Twins, Damien, One of the ones that I'm so surprised that none of us picked was Reagan from The Exorcist.
Oh my god. You're right. Well, I kind of wanted to talk about her, like, on the Exorcist episode whenever we do that.
When we do a part two, kind of like erasing the last one.
Yeah, but Reagan, absolutely, oh my god, like, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Like, no 9-year-old should say that.
No.
And then projectile vomit in the head going around 360.
Stabbing themselves in the crotch.
Oh my god. I don't know if you saw this. I think this might be on the extended edition, but there was a scene where she literally came down the stairs on, you know, like how you do a bridge in gymnastics?
Oh, like, is that not on the original one?
I don't know, man, but I remember that.
Scene. Oh my god.
No. And then, no. So yeah, Reagan. Oh my god, I can talk about her for a while, but
all fucking day. But yeah, Gage, the fucking Deliverance, Village of the Damned Children. There's so many, like,
so many good ones.
One of the ones that I was gonna do, was the Ghost Children from Sinister.
Oh yeah.
But then I remember thinking that their dead makeup looked kind of funny. And I was like, I didn't want to just shit all over the makeup artist.
Right. Yeah, but they're an example, for sure.
Exactly. So creepy children.
Yeah,
Yay!
Creepy children. They scare us because they're not supposed to be evil.
They're supposed to be innocent little angel babies, but they're not. They're creepy.
But anybody who knows kids know that they're not innocent. But most of the time, they don't kill people, so...
Oh, I actually see. Okay, never mind. I know your history. You talk about it all the time. But like Dee, on our Facebook group the other day, she said that her daughter wanted to watch something else. Like her kids were basically like, let's watch horror movies. And I asked her, I was like, what's your opinion on that? Have you let them watch horror? Because my parents were super fucking strict. I didn't even watch Men in Black until I was literally 13. So, like,
right.
So I always wonder that, like, you watched horror, basically, since you could say the word horror.
I mean, probably before that, but yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But, like, I don't know, it's weird. For all you parents out there, let us know.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. I guess my mom just didn't give a fuck. I have no idea.
That's that's not saying that all parents who let their kids watch horror don't give a fuck.
No. I literally, like, watched it with her most of the time, so I don't know, yeah, let us know your thoughts, because it can go, like, from one extreme to the other.
Exactly.
So.
Exits,
alright, go for it.
Alright, so, I'm so excited, I'm like buzzing, I love this theme. So if you have any stories, articles, or other fun stuff for us to read for our, oh my god, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid episodes, or you just want us to read it, go to our Facebook group, go to our subreddit, email us at rainbowsandhorrormovies@gmail.com. You can get all of our bonus episodes like we talked about. Our recent one was The Ring. You can get that on patreon.com/RIHM podcast. Don't forget that we are doing donations now to three foundations that we really care about, and you can contribute by becoming a patron, buying stuff from our shop, and signing up for our affiliate programs. I have a little side note about that. I tried doing our monthly donations to them this month on August 1st or something. Mm-hmm. Their minimum donations are $1. So we'll donate every month when we get to $1. So, like, right now we have the money from July set aside, but so the next month we'll donate everything from July and August. So, little side note, legal shit.
We're trying.
I'm not like, we're donating every month and then not actually donating. So,
but we are.
You can find all the information that I just said on our website at rainbowsandhorrormovies.com. Find us on social media at RHM Podcast. You can find me on social media at VKDub. You can find Paige at Floral Coffin. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and share, and rant and rave about how good we are on on iTunes specifically, but let everyone else know because you're awesome and we love you guys. And thank you guys for listening.
Yes, and if you have children or no one in your life, tuck them into bed and make sure they don't have a butcher knife under their pillow.
Or are, oh my god, how did
Possessed by the devil.
Yes, possessed by the devil. Or have like ghost friends.
Or have ghost friends, yes. If your child says that they're seeing Billy the invisible boy in the corner, believe them.
Yeah, donut. Wow.
Donut.
I'm just going to leave that there. Donut.
Yummy. Donut. Don't not believe them.
Exactly.
Listen to the kids. And as always, stay strange.
And unusual.
Goodbye.
Bye. Donut.